Kishayavo lechol pas mevorchelav hamaitzi. When a person, we're in Kuf Nun Ches, page Memvav in my Mishnah Berurah. Okay, Kishayavo lechol pas shemevorchelav hamaitzi. When a person is going to eat bread that it needs a hamaitzi on it, yitul yadov. He has to wash his hands before him. Vafilo einu yodei elahem shum tuma. He doesn't know that his hands became tamei. V'yivarach, and he makes a bracha al netilas yadayim. Now here is the disclaimer: Aval lepas she'ein mevorchen of hamaitzi. If you're eating a bread that you don't make out of hamaitzi, kegoy lachmoniyos, dakos, different kinds of, I'll call them cookies for this point of view, all possible bakisnin. Eino kaveh sudas aleim, and you're not being kaveh suda on those things. Ein tzarech netilas yadayim. You don't need netilas yadayim because netilas yadayim is only made for what's called a suda. There's going to be a few fascinating Mishnah Berurahs which discuss that idea of what's called a suda. All right. The first thing the Mishnah Berurah says in Sifkat Aleph, Tam takonas netilu mishnei dvarim, for two reasons. Ha'echad mipnei srach truma, because people used to eat truma, and truma needs to have tahira. They were afraid maybe their hands became tummy. They would have to wash their hands before they ate truma. So they shouldn't make it tummy. That he should wash his hands. Kadeshi Regil Bnei Yisrael Kishayvana Beis Hamikdash from Hera Lechol B'Taira. V'oi Tam L'Takalas Netila Mishum Nekiyas Kedusha, as it says, V'Skadeshim Yisim Kedoshim, and before a person eats, he should elevate himself to a higher level.
Kohanim every day wash their hands for the Kohanim.
Yeah.
So Kohanim are the only person people who need to wash their hands before eating truma. So if we need to wash our hands, and I'm not just going because Kohanim need to, so what is certain things that are for Kohanim? Why do I need to wash because Kohanim need to wash? Maybe I should wash my hands before because Kohanim also.
Okay. I'm going to answer the question. You don't say Berachas Kohanim. Right.
But it just seems to be a...
Before you eat bread, wash your hands.
Right. So
I have to worry about the training, the whole Israel, all of that. You have to carry the training on.
Okay, well that's discussed in the Mishnah already. That's a good question. I don't know the answer exactly to that question, why they were masaking it, but it seems that I'll just tell you, as a practical fellow, if the Yisraelim didn't have to, Kohen wouldn't do it. Wouldn't happen.
And they basically don't even because of that, they don't need to. It's only they only need to with truma, because so what's a chashash if they don't wash now when they come to wash?
Yeah, no, it has to become an automatic, Yeah, but for that they knew to wash. When you sat down to eat a korban, that was a happening. This wasn't part of your regular daily life.
And why couldn't we wait till the base of India? There's a lot of halachas that were not shchitas korban, in which the animal is, that were not. So this one we needed to make sure.
I don't know. Can't answer the question. I'll just tell you. In Germany, whenever they made Birchas Hachama, which is once in 28 years, they would shecht all the birds that are kosher. All birds that were kosher.
All the birds in the city?
No, they went around the world. Because in order that the Messiah should be niskayim. How would you know what's kosher and what's not kosher?
Not every single bird, but
once in
one of each type.
Yes, that's the biggest baruch. That's at least you get it done twice in your life. That should be a.
But the point is, we have which parts of the those are cool.
Just saying, I can't answer the question why this was, they felt, what? Okay.
It's interesting though, Birkas Kohanim, we said in Israel that we do it every day, we don't do it in storage.
Which part is interesting? Which part is interesting that we do it in Eretz every day, or they don't do it?
This thing in washing the hands for tumor, since it's never tumor in chutz la'oretz.
Why is it never tumor chutz la'oretz?
You don't have to take the penalty.
Okay, but if a person has it there, then you have to wash it. Okay, I don't know why.
Really, only there as well, and that's what it goes as well. I think.
All right. Okay, so you have to wash your hands when you eat bread. Lechol pas, lafuki al peiros, vatam lefi she'ein roi v'truma ela mimine pas. Now, I think Shlomo Melech was talking. Yeah, it's just that it's just that Verevin. Yeah, it's true. Shlomo Melech's time they're all in Israel, but I don't know if that answers the question. Vatam lefi she'ein roi v'truma ela b'mine pas. I would just like to ask a question. What are grapes? Doesn't look like bread to me. Right? Grapes and olives, right? Well, because they say that wine, you don't eat wine with your hands, right? So you're not going to be metamet.
What was the second reason? There are two reasons. One is because of truma. And
right? Nikias. Not tummy. Clean.
Clean?
Yeah.
Clean and kedusha.
To wash.
That's before. Yes. No, that's because when Chazal said that you have to do it, so then it becomes a mitzvah. That's anything you do when Chazal told you to do. That's what makes it into a mitzvah.
Bread you will hold with your hands.
Right. There were people who ate chulin b'Torah. I think that statement is incorrect. People ate chulin b'Torah. There were those who did. You have to speak to a Chagigi guy, right?
Yeah.
There were those who did. That's not the standard practice. Okay. Okay. Has to be a bread that you're making a suda on. You have to wash both hands and with a kli. You have to wash both of them. Why? This is a fascinating halacha. I would never have written this halacha, what it says. I would have said you should do the yamin first because yamin goes first. That's not what it says. It says you do yamin first so that the small should be able to be mashamish the yamin. Okay. Afilu einu yadeya, gam einu melchachos, you still have to wash. V'yivarach al netilas yadayim, v'hainu asher kirishanim tov tzivana al netilas yadayim, v'shayach lo b'tzivana af midivrei sefer, shenestav lishma, as it says, chol asher yeruch lo yisasur. Lachmanios dakos, if you're eating things that are called lachmanios dakos, yizmor lakamon, the kamashval and the af, they lemechameshes minim, and they are a min that could become bread. Kivon shalekava suda alaya ain't tzach netila. V'kol shekei pas asim mishar dvarim, the nachameshes minam shein tzich netila klal. Eno kovei suda, avol kova aleim suda tzach netila bracha kamo ala pas. If you're being kovei suda on pizza, you have to wash. Just like on bread. The gama moitzi brechas hamazon tzarech al elu im kova suda aleim. Come on. V'shir suda, we're going to learn later on. Okay. Now, if you decided afterwards to eat a shir kviyasuda, you'll have to wash your hands in the middle. Okay. Yeah. Sif beis yesh mishayimishim einoi oichel ela pachas mikebeitza yito yadav lo yivarech. Why? So the reason for this, the Mishnah Berurah says, is mishum de inyan tuma pachas mikabetza and makabel tuma midaraisa. So therefore, lo yatama yedei yadayim. V'lachen yeshnamer degam anatil lo gozu. Because the reason doesn't exist. Oh, after the other way is, since we're benching, we call eating a kazayis already a amount. Because it's a subject of eating. The bracha ain't about kevis natila. You need a natila. What it seems to say over here, which the Mishnah Berurah will say shortly, is that if you're going to be eating less than a kazayis, then you shouldn't have to wash your hands. Where's the question on this? When do we eat less than a kazayis and wash our hands? Correct. So the Bir Halacha in Hilchos Pesach has a question. And he has a fascinating answer. That's not the answer. And whether you do make a bracha or not, the Machlokes HaPoskim. Okay? And the Bir Halacha says that one should touch themselves in a place that's mechusa, and know that you should be chayav b'tilas yadayim.
That's before you wash for bread.
Before you wash for karpa.
Oh.
No, he says that before you wash for bread, you should do that because you already washed for karpas.
Before you wash for bread, you should touch right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you don't have to wash it.
And when you finish Seder and you're about to daven, you have to wash your hands too, right? Okay. In Borlo Shashima Yodov Hativ Loy Naga Bekisi Akadish Shardwa Tamas Yadam Entzach Lachso Lito Yodov Shayodov Tahiris Minatil Rishayna Vim Nata Vein Lo Levarach Shema Yia Rachel Batal Akam Shayno Kain Zakasel Mogen Avram Shem Mordechai Va'af Ledina Ledidam Bevari Tzach Lachso Lito Yodov Kileil Seven Kufrun Ches Beprat Shalai Kivim Etchil Lachil Akaponim Ein lo levarach kebavor, va'anachon shebafren zeh yitam yadav kaidem natila kadei sheyochol levarach.
You still have the second reason.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll stop over here.